Subscribe to the channel. Did you subscribe? Like the video and share. Share it everywhere. It's midnight here, or at least by my phone it's midnight, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I'm tired. I was gonna start it actually about 30 minutes ago, but I've been spreading it everywhere. I was gonna do it at midnight, so I had to wait till midnight. Anyways, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it after I post it. Subscribe to the channel. It helps me keep making these videos, keeps growing my channel, keeps me being able to spread this word. And by the way, the scenery in the background, everything is different because I'm changing the location of where I do my videos. Actually, this room that I'm in, against this very wall, sitting right there in front of me, staring at that wall over there, is where I had my experience. Where my experience happened was in this very room. Coming back to my beginnings. This is the room I had my experience in. Ever since then, this room has felt like a portal. It feels like it transports me off planet or something. I don't know how to explain it. But it has a feeling about this room. But this room is what I want to make my office into. Right here in this corner, I'm sitting on a bouncy ball at the moment with my computer sitting on a basket that I'm keeping my stuff in for the moment. But this is the spare bedroom where my experience happened. And right here is where I want to make my office, where I want to set up. And eventually it will change. I'll have my bookshelves and my posters up, and hopefully a desk right here, a chair here, a better setup to do this. And with the help of you donating to help the channel, help me keep posting these videos, help me grow my channel. So subscribe, like, comment, share, and yeah, let's keep this going. But this video is going to be a little different. And right now, I haven't been talking to a lot of people like I have been because I noticed that there's an altered state of consciousness that you can get in, that it's easier to access certain things. Well, since I have gotten clean, that's not something that normally you can just do. You can't just normally do it. As right now in evolution where we are, we can't just do it. You have to work hard to do that. You have to, or not hard, but you have to focus. You have to work. You have to channel your energy. You have to channel it. Me doing all the drugs I was, not eating, not drinking, staying awake for days on end, not eating days on end. It was putting this body, this mind, my spirit in an altered state of consciousness, an altered state of being. That's why I was able to feel these things and do these things more and more regularly, because I'm in an altered state of consciousness. I'm in an altered mindset, which there is ways to do it naturally, like I'm going to eventually, but it's not going to take a day. It's not going to take a week. It's not going to take a month. It's going to take a little while, but there's some things that I have to that I'm personally on the inside, that I personally deal with, that I need to fix first. Not only that, my diet. There's a lot of things that goes into it: diet, exercise, mental state, a lot of things. But there's a lot of things that my demons, something that I'm wrestling with, I'm going to have to control them. And right now, they are they're fighting me for power. And I know that I can control them, but I haven't put in the work to do it yet. So it's a constant battle. That's the reason that all this, the channeling and all the answers that I had access to, and I still do, but as of right now, it's being blocked. It's being shut off. And not only do I'm wanting it to. I'm wanting it to, because there's things around me and in me that I'm not spiritually dealing with very well at the moment. And so that's just something that I'm going to have to deal with, and that I am trying to deal with. And it's just a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress. Life is a journey. I mean, it's a journey. We all have to walk it. Or you lay down and die. Get up, keep going, or you lay down and die. And I'm not going to lay down and die, because there's too much work to be done. But what this video is going to be is, I had a lot of videos on my old channel where I had a lot more details. But I was doing things with that channel that I wasn't supposed to be doing. I was pretty much sharing it and stuff like that in places that I wasn't supposed to share it. And YouTube, it got permanently deleted, that channel. And all the videos that I had. I didn't have none of them videos saved after I posted them. I had them on my phone for a while. I don't have SD cards. I can't just go out and buy memory banks and stuff like that. I don't have that kind of money. I know they're not expensive, but I don't have hardly any money to spare. That's why this is up here. That's why these things, even and I've had a lot of people comment, get a job, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter, man. You don't know me. That's why you're saying that. No matter if I did or didn't have a job, you still struggle. People still fucking struggle, man. It's part of life, dude. And me, myself, I've worked construction, built custom homes for 7 years. Every day. 5 days a week. 6 o'clock in the morning till 2:30, 3:30 in the afternoon. Built custom homes. Making $18 an hour. And still got paid every Friday. But still, come Monday, I'm broke. So you can't say, get a job. It doesn't, man, you don't understand. You people are not understanding. Not everybody is born with a silver spoon. Not everybody can go out there and get a high-paying ass job. Because of who you are, your background, who you know, who you're connected to. People judge people, man. They judge you on what you look like. They judge you on your background. They judge you by your criminal record. All this bullshit. You're judged by these things. You just are. Not supposed to. We're supposed to work together and help each other. But there are limitations on us as a species. Depends on if you're a nobody, you're going to get a low-paying job. If you are somebody, you might get a high-paying job. You might not. Depends on what you know and who you know. It is what it is. But on my other video, or on my other channel, I had my writings that I wrote down after I had my experience in this room. 2 or 3 of them I wrote sitting in this floor, in this room. This video is going to be me rereading my original writings. And I've told a lot of people, not a lot, but I've told people about this live, and I see how many people are in here. But it doesn't bother me. I know everybody's got their own life. Everybody's got their own things going. And like I've told everybody, it doesn't matter if you watch it live or you watch it a year after I post it. It doesn't matter to me. The whole thing is just the message of my videos, man. And they're not even my videos. I know I say this is my channel and my videos, but it's not mine. My videos. This is for you, for everyone, for the world, for all the human species, all of creation. That's why I'm making these videos, for everyone. My name is unknown. My name is anonymous. That's what I'm supposed to be. That's who my name is. I'm supposed to be unknown. I'm supposed to be anonymous because it's not. I'm just experiencing this, man. I know I'm already safe. There's a lot of people who ain't. A lot of souls, a lot of spirits who ain't. And they can still choose the wrong direction to go. Everything's planned perfect. Don't get me wrong. Everything is planned perfect. But you won't know until maybe a long, long, long time. Well, every great now and again, there's signs, symbols. You have to see them and you have to follow them. You have to know what's right, trust what's right, and go with it. Loved ones, or people always say they want a sign from their loved ones that are deceased, and they might see a butterfly and think it's, a loved one giving them a sign, or see a certain animal. You're willing to believe that sign, but you can't believe me. You're willing to believe that sign, which is true. It is real. But you can't believe someone like me had an experience like I had and saying the things that I'm saying. And even though you might have done research into this for a week, month, or years, even decades, people are saying the exact same thing that I'm saying. That's why I don't watch anything. My mom constantly watches Jeff Mars lives and stuff like that. I don't watch them because every time that she's watching them, anytime I go around, I just hear bits and parts when I walk out to smoke a cigarette or something. I hear bits and parts of what these people are saying, and it's the exact same thing that I've been saying. But you're willing to listen to them. You're willing to listen to them because they might have, instead of this piece of paper, they have a piece of paper that comes from a college that says they're certified. Whatever. You listen to them, but you won't listen to me. Okay, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. I'm used to not even being on the back burner. I'm used to being that crumb underneath the stove. I'm used to it. For 32 years, I'm used to it. It's what it is. Sometimes it gets to my ego. Yeah, it does. Still feel emotions. I still experience them. And it's hard. It is hard. Being a human is difficult. But it wasn't meant to be a cakewalk. There's a reason it's meant to be as difficult as it is. So you can learn and grow from this experience. But I'll get on with it. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Comment. And I love you. And God bless you. I'm just going to read these. I think there's 1 through 5. And then I have a few comments that I've made from other people's questions that I'm going to read on here. And then I'm going to end this live. Here I go. First. Here we go, people. Hold on. Ha ha ha. And when you hear me do that, ha ha ha, that's because I put laugh out loud. But every time you hear me go ha ha ha, that's because I put laugh out loud or somebody else put it. Okay? But I don't want to say laugh out loud. I'll just go ha ha ha. Anyways. Here we go, people. Hold on. Ha 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 ha. Okay, I'm going to put this in the form of a theory. I sit here typing. I'm typing because the formula needs to exist to answer the question. The question exists because of thought. Where did the thought come from, I wonder? Simple. The thought came from mankind's quest for knowledge. I wonder what happens when we keep questing for knowledge throughout time. All humanity will have one last question at the end of your time. Then we die. Listen, I know how this is going to sound. I'm asking you to trust me. I didn't stop questing for knowledge after my first body's physical death. It's known to mankind as consciousness. I call mine my soul. After I died, I still had questions. Eventually, I asked enough questions till I found the truest form of an answer. Once I had that answer, I had all answers for all that ever was, is, and will be. What I learned is that there are things that mankind can't even prove exist, yet mankind acknowledges their existence. If and when you come back to Earth, you will have no memory of before birth. If you were able to remember that truest form of an answer, then the rules that apply for mankind's quest for that great knowledge won't apply to you anymore. Once you realize the truth, nothing is impossible, but we can only use certain parts of it. We're not allowed to alter mankind's reality, and that is fact. This is what I give to you, Mankind's Freedom, lived by Chad Dwayne Foster Jr. Second, all would have been possible. No matter what, I have nothing but respect for all of you. Y'all took time and acknowledged my existence. I'm never going to lose my, call it faith or insight, or maybe to you it's just an idea or a brain fart. It doesn't matter to mankind anymore. Let me explain that so it's not misunderstood. I'm not saying that mankind has no belief in a higher power. What I mean is, with everything that we are now as life on Earth, from what we once were, it didn't do anything but cause more and more wondrous distractions. I will always believe in a time where race, religion, sexuality, and other negatively emotional driven judgments don't cloud what are the right things to do. Look, only recently, 2 months, that's when I wrote this, it's been 2 months. 2 months, my 31 years on Earth, and everything that I knew or thought I knew, I was shook. Life became so clear. I knew what I needed to do. I started a YouTube channel because that's where I was going to make my biggest impact. That was my ground zero. You were exactly right, John Doe. Had to change the name. About profit. I was trying to get funding. Lost my spot. You were exactly right, John Doe, about profit. I was trying to get funding, sponsored, anything to be able to get a computer and whatever else I needed to have a good channel. Without money, you're poor. With money, you're rich. There will be a time where mankind sees things again for what they are. All of it is a distraction. I hope I see the day we look up at the skies again. I hope I live long enough to see mankind help each other get back up instead of kicking them when they're down. I believe I could have seen complete unity of our species in my lifetime. Can you imagine that? Wow. One day, mankind will have to make a decision. Unite and flourish, or separation and extinction. Our story is very short as a species, But Earth has been here for a minute. Something that is fact about Earth. Let enough time pass, life appears. Let more time pass, life dies. There is so much more to say, but I'm running out of time. I have the family to spend the rest of my time with. I hope one day, if someone else does what I'm trying to do, mankind won't judge nor discriminate, but trust their gut and their heart and walk side by side to make the impossible possible. Until then, don't waste 1 second of time. Through positivity and mankind's combined conscious outlook on the unknown, we will be able to make it possible to understand the knowledge. Alive, Chad Dwayne Foster Jr. Third. This brings me back. I'm opening to you all now with a very heavy heart. I need to be heard because I see you. I know how hard this is going to be. That's why it's up to me to see this through. I love you with all of me, and I want to bring this to you in a way that you and your reality has to believe it, or I will fail. I feel your doubt, your fear, your worry, your pain, your uncertainty of what mankind is unsure about. The future. What happens after we die? All I'm asking is that one person have faith in what I'm saying. I know that sounds crazy. I'm trying to teach what I know so that when you see it, you understand. And the reason I believe and have faith in this is because to me, it's possible and I did it, giving you proof that impossibility made possible. I can help you do what you want to do. I can help you make your impossibility possible. There are people in the world that believe in this exact same thing. Talk to them. They will tell you that this can be done. Fourth, so many people, life is short. That's why I must work faster than time. I'm coming to you all because I need a little help with something. First, I want to apologize to you. I've done a lot of bad things in this life. I can't take it back just yet. I'm not asking for forgiveness or pity, nothing like that. Change is the only thing this species can do. And change we must, for what comes after death depends on this life's lessons. Why the lessons? Simple. There is more than you can ever imagine possible. You will never know unless you learn your lesson, so you will remember who you are and where you come from. The reason you're here is so the soul can learn what it needs to learn to evolve to the next stage. Believe it or not, there are positives and negatives. There are other species that try to influence your positive light with dark negativity. They have been on this planet since the beginning of Earth, going through time, influencing positivity with negativity. Some of you might like to know why. Why would they do that? Simple. The only way change will happen is with positivity. Positive thought/outlook makes changes. Without positivity, change won't happen. Let me take you back in time for a second. Back in time. So cool. That's what I actually wrote. Anyway, God has created a lot of different species on this planet to see if they could progress. If they did not progress through thought positivity without being influenced by negativity, they came back over and over and over until they learned the lesson. Once they did, they would evolve. What do I mean by this? Let me explain that life is soul, pure positive power connected to God, living throughout everything. Would you like to learn more? I will answer all questions that you have. Right now, money is needed to live. Help me help my family so I can help them believe in me and give them proof of God the Creator made this impossible time, space, life, aliens, theory, reality made possible through you. Thank you. Chad Dwayne Foster Jr. 5th. This one's kind of long. Okay. Note to self. Take a breath. Ha 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 ha. It's time now to tell my story. Here in my favorite group page. Whoever reads this here in this group, just know you are the first ones who have heard this, and I'm honored to be able to share this with you. First, let me say that this will be a long one. Ha ha ha. So if you don't read it all, I completely understand. Second, some of the things I write might or will be hard to understand. Trust me, I know. Some of the things I experienced are hard for me even to explain. But nevertheless, I will do my best to explain it all step by step in great detail. Third, if at any point you realize that I'm not using a highly educated vocabulary, I'm using words that are fairly easy to understand, I have to tell it this way. Whatever I write down, I have to write it in a way that if someone reads it, young or old, or highly educated vocabulary, or an individual that has the vocabulary of a person who, in this world, would love nothing more than to just have a friend, somebody to just talk to. Most of everyone who reads this will understand what I'm saying. That's the reason I'm writing this the way I am, to explain my story and what I went through in my near-death experience and my out-of-body experience in the simplest way. Fourth, ha 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 ha. Sorry I'm taking so long to get to my story, but I had to write this stuff down as kind of an introduction or backstory as far as the who, what, and why of what to expect. I'm sorry to say that this will not be my entire story due to the fact that it is just too much to write down. That's why I'm currently reaching out to anyone that would be able and willing to do a recorded or live interview with me so that I'm able to get my story out faster and further, and also be able to answer questions that anyone might have. All that being said, let's get to it. My name is Chad Dwayne Foster Jr. I'm 31 years young, born and raised in Texas. I've had my ups and downs and my good and bads throughout my life. Everything I've been through is why I am who I am. I'm here right now to explain something that is almost unexplainable. There are people who don't believe it at all. There are people who believe it, but yet they have no proof of it. To them, proof doesn't matter. They believe it anyways. Then there are people who at one point didn't believe or did believe. Something happened to them that would change their lives forever. I'm talking about the ones who have been chosen to meet their owner/operator of their form on earth and have came back to that form with so much to say. But one thing above it all is at the top of the page. We have souls. All life has a soul. Death of a physical form on earth is nothing we need to fear. Death does not mean it's the end, it's over. It means, this part is kind of hard to explain. Whatever the life was on this planet in physical form, it was experienced from beginning to end by the soul who needed to physically experience whatever form the soul inhabited. It's similar to grade levels in school. You start in the first grade, you do the work your teachers give you. At the end of the year, if you have successfully learned and completed the knowledge, you get to graduate to the second grade. The difference with the soul is until you reach a certain level of graduation, or the soul had no choice but to leave that physical form, every time you graduate and go to the next grade, everything that you learned and completed to get to that next grade will be wiped clean. You will not remember anything from before. You will only know from your current moment forward. This is so when the soul experiences something in its current form that was similar or exactly the same as something it has experienced in a past form, the soul can react to it 100% honest. When the soul leaves that form, the reactions to events that have happened in multiple different forms that have been similar or the same can now be compared to see if the reaction to the experience was the same each time. If the reaction was the same, the soul graduates. It gets to evolve to the next step. Understand this. The soul not only has to have the same reaction to the experience, most importantly, it has to be the right reaction to the experience. If it's not, there is no summer school. The soul will have to relive that exact experience over and over and over again until the correct reaction is repeated concurrent. A correct reaction is one that is completely positive. There cannot be any negativity in a reaction to an experience. Once you realize why that is, your soul can remove negativity from itself completely. A negative reaction for a soul is a way to show the teacher you don't understand the work and you need to take that course again. All that being said, I'm going to get on with my personal experience. I will eventually edit this post to include exact dates and times. I was sitting in the floor in my house in our spare bedroom, just staring at the wall. Against this wall, staring at that wall, this room. At this point, I had been awake for roughly 5 to 6 days. No food, no water. My body was physically dying. With my physical body dying, from what I understand, my soul was able to expand my consciousness in this body's weakened state, so my brain and physical form would be able to comprehend what was about to happen. What happened then was my soul, me, came out of my body, and me, as my soul, showed myself to my physical form. So here I am. I was seeing through two different sets of eyes at the exact same time. I was my body looking at my soul, and I was my soul looking at my body, and I was my body looking at my soul. My body's brain was kind of in an autopilot mode. The only information at the brain or in the brain at that time was transferred directly from my soul. My soul let my physical form understand what I was seeing. My soul's form is hard for me to describe, but my soul is a warm white light that has a thin, warm, golden light surrounding it. I call the thin golden light my halo. My soul even showed me the placement of it in my body. It starts where my skull and spine meet, then follows down my spine and stops midway down. I now know the soul can travel through the entire body. That's where I seen my soul at that moment, because that's where my soul was at that moment. It showed me was right there, because it was something to do with the pineal gland in the brain. It expanded my consciousness from there. Something to do with the nervous system of this body, putting it in autopilot. That's why it was wrapped around my spine. Stars from my skull and spine. It was beautiful because I got to see it glowing inside my body while I was outside of my body. So here is my soul, a glowing, formless mass that did something to help put my physical body at ease. It formed my face on it. It was the same color, the warm white light, but a replica of my face. This part is hard for me to explain also. My soul communicated with my body that it was about to leave to get help. The mouth on my face that my soul reflected never moved. What it did do, though, was smile. I'm crying. I was bawling when I was writing this. I was letting my body know that it was going to be okay. I said, I'll be right back. As my soul, looking into the eyes of my body and smiling, I then looked up at the ceiling and flew through it. I went straight up into space. Sorry about that. Excuse me. Where was I? As my soul, looking into the eyes of my body and smiling, I then looked up at the ceiling and flew through it. I went straight up into space. That's where I seen it. A round light in space that was the exact same color as my soul. It's almost as if it's always been there, waiting for my soul. So I merged with it. This part is undescribable. The emotion I felt when I merged with it was the warmest, strongest love I have ever felt. Humanity does not even have words to describe it. It is that good. From what I understand, I can't say every soul is when a soul from this earth, in this reality, in this dimension, leaves its physical form. It merges with a form that is that soul's exact reflection. What I was shown is that exact reflection form your soul from earth merges with is you, a greater soul. Your soul here is a piece of your higher soul, sent here, tasked by God the Creator, that's who I know him as, to learn. With humanity specifically, one of the major things our soul needs to experience and learn is human emotions. Apparently, they play a key factor in our soul's evolution. Okay, I'm sorry, but this is it for now. I hope this reaches you in a positive way. From the bottom of my heart, I love you and God bless. This is something I wrote called I Understand. I Understand by Chad Dwayne Foster Jr. I understand. You don't like John because he's a man. I understand. You don't like Mary because she's a woman. I understand. You don't like Joe because he likes men. I understand. You don't like Becky because she likes women. I understand. You don't like Eric because he's black. I understand. You don't like Jessica because she's white. I understand. You don't like Jordan because he's rich. I understand. You don't like Rachel because she's poor. I understand. You don't like Christians because they worship God. I understand. You don't like Satanists because they worship Satan. I understand. You don't like the East because you're from the West. I understand. You don't like the North because you're from the South. I understand. You don't like men, women, gay, straight, black, white, God, Satan, rich, poor. Listen, I hear you. I understand. Now, this is not the part where I ask you to stop. I know. It's not what you were expecting me to say. I know. I understand. I will not ask you to stop disliking whatever it is you dislike, for whatever the reason is that you dislike, whatever it is you don't like. I want you to know this, though. I love you with all that is me. Do you understand? Man, woman, gay, straight, black, white, rich, poor, Christian, Satanist, I will never dislike you, for we are the same. Do you understand? These titles are real. There are men, there are women, there are homosexuals, there are heterosexuals, there are black people, there are white people, there are rich people, there are poor people, there are religious people, there are non-religious people. There are people covering planet Earth. Do you understand? You dislike the title, not the person. Do you understand? That title created division between left and right, up and down, forward and backward, inside and outside. Do you understand? Can I tell you my secret? What I don't like that a title made humanity dislike humanity. Do you understand? No matter your title, we are in human form. Do you understand? We laugh, we love, we live, we die. I want humanity to laugh together. I want humanity to love together. I want humanity to live together. I know what's next. I understand. Do you understand? We are all the same. We're human in this present moment. Let us unite and flourish instead of separation and extinction. I understand. I love you no matter your title. I understand. Do you? And then this is what I wrote the next day, because I had a lot of people that read that. And so I wrote this about that, kind of explaining what that meant to me. I posted something I wrote the other day called I Understand. I want to define my meaning behind what that meant to me. Let's say someone said something I didn't agree with. After that, how I react to it is all on me. I could react in a negative way, or I could react in a positive way. Something I think a lot of people don't understand is no matter what someone says or does, in the end, it's up to you and only you on how you react to it. Say, for instance, I'm happy. Someone says, "Why are you smiling and happy? You're ugly. You shouldn't be smiling and happy." After they say that, I have a choice to make. Do I let it get to me and make me stop smiling and stop being happy? Or do I keep on going, being happy and smiling? Me personally, I'm going to keep on smiling and stay happy. Why? No one can tell you how to feel or what emotions you should be feeling. It's up to you to decide how you feel and what you feel. I know all too well that mental disorders are a very real thing. I was diagnosed with MDD, major depressive disorder. Now, I'm not trying to say that I don't have my bad days, but when I do, I try to look inside myself and change my mind. It's hard to do, but I can say it can be done. So for today, I want all of you I want all of you to try something for me. I want you to be happy and smile because you're worth it. No matter what someone says to you, do not let it get you down. If you let them get to you, you're not the one controlling your life. They are controlling you. Be yourself. Be happy. Only you can change your mind. If you're strong, they will try, but they will fail. Do not give up. Today is your day. I know there are people that don't like me, but guess what? I still love you and will continue to love you. You know why? because it's my choice and I'm in control of me and how I feel, not anyone else. How will you decide to live your life today? And then I want to write or read a few of the things there were a few comments that I wrote to some of the people that I interacted with. Okay, wow. All of you are amazing, first off. I might not know you, and you might not know me, but I love each and every one of you truly. So I'm going to say this first, and then I will eventually go into great detail. I plan on writing a library. Ha 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 ha. I still want to, but can't just be sitting here writing all the time. Still got to make money somehow until I find somebody that's willing to see the future that I do and see the books that I can write and how they can benefit, and they will be major sellers. I mean, look at all the other ones that are major sellers on exactly this subject. Until somebody's willing to take a chance on me, I'm just going to have to write as I can when I can and publish it by myself, do everything on my own. I'm all alone. I'm all alone. But I got this. I think. Fingers crossed. I will eventually go into great detail. I plan on writing a library. Ha ha ha. That's what it will take to explain everything. What I was going to say, and please, before I say how and why it happened, which all of you know it happened because of drugs now, drugs and me being in an altered state of consciousness. Please don't let negative emotion control how you judge. Anyway, in this body, it was only a matter of 15 to 30 minutes, maybe. I've tried to explain it in a way that everyone could understand a time frame for how long my soul was outside my body. I know how this sounds, but time as we know it, my soul was outside of my body for hundreds of millions of years. The reason I say this is time as we know on earth did not exist anymore. Instead, all that ever was, is, and will be was there. It was it, connected to it all. And it was a tad bit much to take in at once. It really was. It was overwhelming to me, considering I didn't believe in none of this, bucko. I didn't believe in not one bit of this. But, whew, breathe. There was one thing that I struggled with, and I'm crying and shaking writing this right now. I had to let go of all my karma, my emotions, my trauma, but that wasn't the hard part. The part I still struggle with was my own death. It was an aneurysm that killed that body. And that's not all. Before I could go any further, I had to say I'm ready. Understand why it happened, how it happened, and even love my death. Be grateful for it, and 100% happy. Then it happened. I went through the entire process of the death. I had to watch it to learn why. That's not it though. Ha ha ha. I got to experience right before my death, right after my death, and all the way up until this body was unseen. Not through me though. I had to experience it over and over again from everyone I knew. I actually got to see it through their eyes and feel how they felt. When I got to my son, oh man, I wish that pain in him, it was so pure, a perfect definition of that emotion. Okay, I got to change the topic. Sorry, he's 3 years old. He was what made me cave in. Hearing this, do I share what I wrote? Sometimes I wish I had people to talk to about this, and I hope you all will just talk to me as one human to another. Oh, baloney. And then there was another one that this was a screenshot actually from my old YouTube channel that I didn't know that I had on here. But an individual had asked me a certain question, and I thought that what I read earlier was the question, but this wasn't the question that this person, or it wasn't the question that this person asked me, but this person had asked something like, it was similar to like what is the point of past lives? Like what is the point of doing a life review if you can just come back and try again? What is the point, right? And maybe some people are not ready for this, but it's going on my channel. You'll find it when you're ready. Some people might not be ready for this, but I know the multiverse is the reincarnation cycle. Call it multiverse, but I know it is the reincarnation cycle because you reincarnate in the multiverse. But this person was asking, what was the point? Or why? And I said this. I try not to think about this stuff, but it keeps coming anyways. Ha ha ha. Okay, it's crazy weird how this energy field operates. I haven't found a way to tap into it yet at will, which I have since then. But, I have, but it's shut off right now because of the things I'm dealing with. Haven't found a way to tap into it at will, but I'm close. But when I'm there, I can feel it, and the memories and answers come to me so fluid. It's amazing. Anyway, first off, I'm not saying that this is how it is. And if you believe in something other than what I'm saying, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that at all. So what's in my mind's eye right now on this earth, in this reality, in this dimension, whatever body you are in, when you stray from the golden brick road and you follow a gray brick road, when you die and the soul leaves the body, then does a life review to see where your mistakes were. If you choose to reincarnate to correct them, or you're sent back to correct them, you will take that same form from that life just past, but not on the same earth. It will be an earth in the multiverse. Here's the monkey wrench though. Ha ha ha. Say you seen a mistake on Tuesday during your life review. Went back, corrected that mistake. Well, come Wednesday, since you have changed that reality by correction of a mistake, it is possible to have a mistake now on that Wednesday that wasn't there before. I know, mind blown. Eventually, through trial and error, you will live and experience possibly everything in creation. Did you hear that? You will live and experience possibly everything in creation. Well, I believe it because my soul has been here for just a few measly hundreds of millions of years, and I've experienced all kinds of things, past, present, and future. So, but some people might not believe that. And you'll find it when it's your time. But yeah, mind blown. Eventually, through trial and error, you will live and experience possibly everything in creation. Once you lived everything in your form, you now could reincarnate back to your first original Earth, but in a completely different form. How could that be? That different form, even though it's on the same original Earth that you were on in a past life, your realities would be completely different, a whole new experience. So do you see what that means? What that means when somebody says, try walking in my footsteps. Eventually you will. Eventually, you and me, we will trade places. You will be here and I will be there. You will be over there and I will be over there. Eventually. But I know that this I know it. I believe in this 100%, and I will never lose faith. Never. Nobody can change my mind. Nothing will. I know how powerful I am. I know how powerful you are. Because I know how powerful everything is. And just how connected to everything we really, truly are meant to be. But we are governed by time here. And the keepers, there are guardians, there's all kinds of things that I will eventually have to make videos to explain all this. Look up Dolores Cannon. I haven't watched this, but look up the Three Waves Volunteers. She mentions something about guardians that guard what's going on here, and they allow what's allowed and what's not allowed. The revolution of our brain, evolution of the human. We evolve. Oh yeah, we evolve on some planets. Some planets we don't. If you believe anything what I just said or heard anything what I said, it is possible that you will live and experience everything in creation. Life, death, afterlife, rebirth, different species, different people, different forms, different earths, realities, everything. Do you understand what that means? That means from the beginning of creation, from the boom and expansion of everything to the implosion of everything and then the boom again. Constantly. Everything's alive and breathing. Constantly. You will experience it. I already have. I love you. God bless you. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Comment on the Dad Burn video. Share everywhere. We have to speed this process up. That's the reason I'm here. And that's the reason everyone else is too. Because it all depends on what you create. But somehow, the war that's going on spiritually is cutting it close. It's cutting it very, very close. Bad guys will never win. They never win. They never do. Never have. Never will. They just won't. They can't. They can't. They will never win. They might think they win, and it even look like they win. But they never actually win because there's nothing to be won. There is no winning. There is no losing. Everything is planned perfect. This is how it's supposed to be. You are who you are. You're right where you need to be. I love you. God bless you. This live is coming to an end. Please share. Good night.